Thanks for tuning in again for Azruddin Mohamed Links to Maduro and Venezuela Part 2, Truth or Politics. Without delay, let's continue from where we left off. We'll start with a clip by Vice President Bharrat Jagdeo, who disclosed that there could be arrests and treason charges ahead for links to Venezuela. Next, we'll tell you what Azruddin Mohamed says. Let's bring in Jagdeo first.
Recall the decisions made just recently by the government and explicitly announced by the Chief of Staff that we will arrest and charge anyone in Guyana for treason should that person try to undermine our territorial integrity and sovereignty. We're not joking about this matter.
As for Mohamed, he denies all claims. In a recent statement, he said he never visited the Venezuelan embassy or applied for a visa to Venezuela. He also accuses the Guyanese government of using taxpayer funds via U.S. lobbyists to launch a smear campaign against him. Let's talk about the evidence or the lack thereof. So far, the government is relying mainly on diplomatic testimony. Venezuelan Ambassador Carlos Perez Silva admitted visa applications were made. And even more shocking, there is alleged video evidence Vice President Jagdeo claims that shows one or more of the Mohammeds entering the embassy.
And the links are being formulated. Watch about it. Watch what will happen over the next few days, because I hope he will deny that too, because there is video evidence of the Mohammeds going into the Venezuelan embassy. Several U.S. congressmen said he's Maduro's puppet and that they work closely with Venezuela. Recently, the foreign minister had reason to summon the Venezuelan ambassador and ask him, why did this happen? This gentleman poses a national security risk. And he was told by the ambassador that they are applying for a visa to Venezuela.
But there is no independent release of the video or embassy logs yet. Why? On August 12, 2025, in a press statement, Azruddin Mohamed denies everything. In fact, he challenges the government to produce the evidence. Quote, "Produce the evidence. I have never visited the Venezuelan embassy," he wrote on his party's Facebook page, further stating that he, quote, "categorically reject and denounce the baseless, malicious, and politically motivated lies being peddled against me. I never visited the Venezuelan embassy, nor have I applied for a visa to travel to Venezuela." He further called this a, quote, "smear campaign that is meant to be a distraction from the PPP alleged corruption being exposed, making headways on social media. The PPP is attempting to divert attention from the truth and suppress the voices exposing their wrongdoing." Mohamed also challenged the Venezuelan embassy to produce the proof. Quote, "Present any record of my entry to the embassy. Show the Guyanese people a single shred of documentation of me applying for a visa." Now don't miss this, because context matters. The Essequibo region, oil-rich, mineral-rich, is claimed by Venezuela and has been under the International Court of Justice's dispute resolution since December 2020. After Venezuela held a referendum or special elections in 2023, Maduro's government claimed the country received 95% support for annexing or taking over Essequibo. So far, Maduro has appointed shadow governance over Essequibo, built a bridge linking Venezuela to an interior location in Guyana, and continues to increase military presence at its border near the region. All of this leads to continued escalation of the tensions between the two South American nations. If these serious allegations against Mohamed are true, then this could suggest Egypt-style foreign interference. Any involvement with Maduro at this critical juncture, when Guyana is heading to the polls to pick a leader, could undermine the International Court of Justice's credibility at a time when Guyana needs unity to defend the 1899 Arbitral Award, granting its sovereign control over Essequibo. Any involvement could empower Venezuela's annexation tactics. Perhaps worst of all, any involvement could reduce public trust in Mohamed's presidential run. Once again, Mohamed denies the allegations, despite the government saying it has diplomatic testimony and video evidence. Mohamed is urging his supporters not to be distracted by what he calls, quote, lies. Let's read more of his statement. Quote, "It is off-putting that this administration would stoop to such depths, squandering state resources in a quest for political mileage against me and, by extension, the Win Party. To coerce the Venezuelan ambassador into misleading the Guyanese public speaks to the lengths this administration is willing to go, using his ministers as pawns. It also exposes the fact that the government of Guyana is in cahoots with the government of Venezuela." That's a very serious allegation, don't you think? The statement continues, "If backdoor meetings are being had to concoct lies, such deception puts our territorial integrity at risk, and with leaders like this, our sovereignty could be bartered away behind closed doors. All of Guyana must recognize this for what it is. The Ali administration is in bed with the government of Venezuela, and this presents a looming danger to our national sovereignty." Quite some allegations, but we're not going to dig into that today. I'm sure you've heard this before. Allegations that the Guyana government has links to the Venezuelan government, and not in a way that works to the benefit of Guyana. Guys, the stakes are massive. Guyana's territorial integrity, U.S. strategic ties, and national unity ride on this. To answer tonight's question, are there real links to Maduro, real evidence showing Mohamed's links to Venezuela or Maduro? Based on everything we've seen and heard so far, there is an alleged pattern: visa applications and embassy visits, and then there's the sanction. Are they all connected? Without proof of coordination with Venezuela's government, the charges remain allegations. If they turn out to be true, there could be serious repercussions for Mohamed and even his father, Nazar Mohamed, or the rest of his family. We don't know how deep this go if these allegations are true. If they are false, the PPP could continue to lose credibility in the eyes of voters and the population as a whole. And if they lose credibility, this could push more supporters over to Mohamed's camp. If and only if they believe the PPP is playing dirty politics. As more information comes out, so will the truth. Whatever that truth is, whatever the truth means, whatever that truth is, whether it's leaning for the Mohamed side or it's leaning for the government's side, I urge you to stay subscribed and turn on YouTube notifications so that you can be updated the moment we post new videos like these. Stay tuned for the next video.